Hello everybody, and welcome to another Kev Play. This is Kevin, and we are on part 23 of Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and part 13 of Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. Last time we finished up Mystic Marsh, we did a little, Cloud Temple, I think, yeah, and then now we're gonna move on. Look at that moon, the clouds passing through that full moon there. It's pretty nice. Alright, well, let's get on to it. Alright, so we're back at it. What should we do? Robotica Farms. What's the other one? Metropolis? I guess we'll do Robotica Farms first. Actually, you know what? Let's do the flight level. Alright, moneybags, what you got for me?
One last speedway adventure for you, Spyro? It's not that expensive, you know.
Sure.
You've chosen wisely. I bet a quick dragon like you will win your money back in no time.
Hehe. Canyon Speedway.
You've chosen wisely. I bet a quick dragon like you will win your money back in no time.
Yes. So, yeah, we had that Summer Game Fest and the Xbox show, Bethesda show, whatever, and yep, we came out a little empty-handed when it comes to anything with Crash, Tony Hawk, or Spyro. I'm actually kind of surprised, honestly. Like, I was really expecting something, because it's been 2 years now since, you know, I think what it is at this point is we're starting to feel the repercussions of COVID, of the Activision lawsuit with like the allegations that had against it, the Microsoft deal, but I think it's honestly, I think Activision has gone through the ringer, and I think we're getting the consequences of that. Oh, I forgot to do the. I have to get the car. I think. Am I going the right way? I probably have to go the other way. All right, let's try it again. But yeah, honestly, in my opinion, if we didn't see Crash Bandicoot at this show, I don't think we're gonna see him this year. Well, I think we might get an announcement, maybe at Gamescom, maybe at the Game Awards, but we're not gonna get a game in 2022. I don't think so. Unfortunately. I'm kind of going about this the wrong way. But we'll see how I do it. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I went about this one way the wrong way. Maybe I can save myself though. I think I can do it if this guy wants to show up. There we are. There we go, okay. Not the best way to go about it, I don't think, but... Alright, we'll call it there. That was all of them, right? Okay. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to quit. I still have to do the orb challenge. But yeah, you know, it's just, I mean, they had Call of Duty there, I guess, because when they said Activision Blizzard was going to be a presence, I guess that's what we're going to get, is the Diablo thing. And didn't Vicarious Vision? So Vicarious Visions got absorbed into Blizzard. I'm guessing they had a big hand in helping with that Diablo 4 or whatever it is, the remake. Um, and I know Jen O'Neill left. They parted ways, but maybe she steered them in the right direction because I mean, I know that Diablo, what is it, Immortal, the mobile game is like kind of a meme now. Like it's a joke, you know. What do you guys don't have phones thing? Um, and I heard that game is a mess. But especially with like the whole what was it like 100? It's like $100,000 to get everything if you wanted to pay through microtransactions, which is really sleazy. But I don't know for what they showed of that Diablo game. I'm not a Diablo fan at all, but it looked like it was something of the remake train that of Tony Hawk or Crash or Spyro. It seemed like something like that, but it's just not a game I'm gonna play. Hey, Papa Peg, how are you?
All right, Spyro, are you ready to try out my plane? I just fixed it, and I'm pretty sure it won't crash now.
He says it as if I knew about this thing. Let's see. Well, no thanks.
Okay, I understand. I'll be here if you change your mind.
Yeah, Summer Game Fest and Xbox and everything, and just how we got shorthanded. I think we'll see something maybe at Gamescom or maybe at Game Awards, but I don't know. I just don't think we're gonna see. I don't think we're gonna get a game in 2022 from Crash, Tony Hawk, or Spyro at all. Because if history is to tell us anything, these games would have been announced at Summer Game Fest by now. It was always around now, like around June. Between like May and June that these games would have been announced, and we just didn't get it. I feel like there's a delay. I feel like we're feeling the repercussions of the Activision lawsuit and COVID and Microsoft buying Activision. I think there's a lot of like stuff going on in the background right now that's like, you know, that's causing these delays, and we're really, and this year I think we're really feeling it. Which is unfortunate, but I don't. That's not to say, you know what? If there's more time to make these games, then maybe it will be a blessing in disguise. You know, I just liked that these games, you know, that there was kind of a pattern every single year since 2017 to 2020. There was a new kind of remake or release, and now that pattern's broken. And I just hope they can like get back on the wagon. You know, or off the wagon, or whatever it is, you know? Try to get back on that, steer the ship, as it were. People wanted Banjo, but that didn't happen. Yeah, well, Banjo's another story with Xbox. That's been something that Microsoft just has been ignoring forever now.
Alright, Spyro.
And honestly, that's Xbox Showcase. I mean, we already know that Redfall and Starfield were delayed to 2023, and they were showing like their 12-month kind of like trajectory. Nothing really jumped out that you can't really get on all consoles. Like even Starfield felt kind of like lackluster. I feel like people have been putting a lot of like hope and praise into that game because of it's like a Bethesda or exclusive Xbox game, but it looks like a Bethesda game, really. I mean, it's probably fun, but I think a lot of people were expecting it to be like this, like, you know, Sony first-party contender. It looks like No Man's Sky too, which is, you know, I don't know. It just doesn't look as innovative, or I mean, it looks very interesting. It could be a really fun game for all I know, but it didn't knock the show out of the park or anything. It was just like a, you know, I don't know. I didn't like that showcase though. Yeah, for me, especially in the majority of it, I was bored throughout it. I was just waiting for anything from third party that might be interesting for me.
Okay, Spyro, here's what you gotta do. I've got the plane on remote control, so all you have to do is hit the targets with your machine gun. Press the attack button to fire the gun, and use your left stick to aim.
So this is like a rail shooter thing here. Press the circle button to fire the gun. L to aim. Don't miss any targets. And then Summer Game Fest ended with that Last of Us 1 remake. And honestly, I have some thoughts on it. At first, when I heard about the Last of Us remake, I was like, this is really unnecessary. Like, I feel like they need to move on from this already. I feel like they really love to smell their own farts when it comes to The Last of Us. Like, between Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann, it's... The way they like bring Troy Baker and what's her name on the Ashley Johnson on the stage to like talk about The Last of Us for 10 minutes. It's just like the game is great, and actually this remake looks pretty damn amazing.
Hey, you nailed all the targets. It must be because you had such a good pilot.
Like part of me is like, I'm glad they got this out of their system. I think The Last of Us 1 is a game that does, judging by what they showed visually and like technically, I like that it matches the kind of the visuals of Last of Us Part 2. And so, and if they were passionate about doing it, I say do it. And I think it looks, I think it looks very promising. $70 for a remake though, not happening. I'm not. I could see myself picking this up when it drops, when the price drops, because in this day of age with inflation and the economy, I'm not paying $70 for a game that was already I already have the remastered version of. I know this is more of a remake, and honestly, it really, I think from an artistic standpoint, I really love that they did this because they didn't change the cutscenes in a way that it's shot differently or anything. It's basically the same mocap, but they updated it to how it actually basically like artist's intent, how they envisioned it to begin with, because of like the PS3's limitations and the PS4. The PS4 was just a remaster, you know, wasn't an actual like remake from the ground up, but this I'm honestly, I like what I'm seeing with it. I think it's good, and I'm glad it's like gonna be in a year, in the year of 2022, where the games are kind of, you know, there's kind of a drought with these games. I'm glad that it's coming out this year. We can move on, and then and then Naughty Dog can start delivering on, like, you know, what other projects they're doing. But I do not like. I can't stand listening to like the way they bring up 10 minutes of like Last of Us discussion in this showcase, where we're just like, we just want the new games to be pumped out and announced. Just give us more and more and more. I don't want to listen to Neil Druckmann and Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson just like smell their own farts for another like developer like discussion, which we've had a million with them. We've had like there's literally commentary that you can play the remastered game with. You can play all the cutscenes and listen to their commentary. It's just like, I know the game is a masterpiece, and I really love the game. It's one of my favorite games. I actually streamed this whole game for 30 episodes. But it's just like, can you guys just like come back down to earth? Like, stop. Like I feel like it really has gone to their head a bit. But that's just me. They showed The Last of Us The Last of Us TV show, like a still from it. Looks interesting. It actually looks like it's probably the most promising video game adaptation so far that I've seen out of all this stuff. Save for like, I think Twisted Metal is very promising too, because it kind of has like I feel like it's going to have like a nice American Horror Story type structure to it that it can, and plus there's no expectations for Twisted Metal, so I think you can do some interesting things with low expectations for that IP. But yeah. And they showed like a still for Factions. Honestly, if you don't have anything to show, other than a production image or like a concept art or whatever, don't waste 10 minutes of the show. Nobody wants to see you. I love they could have easily did this as a separate thing, but don't. For me, it was filler. It was filler for the show, and it was kind of disappointing to end with that. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Oh boy, they're gonna milk. Honestly, if this is the Last of Us remakes, you know, like because if they do another Last of Us remake after this, it's just kind of now you're just like pushing it. Like I like what I see with the visuals. I think it actually looks worthy of me buying it again if it's at a reasonable price. But I don't. I'm just not at $70 and yeah. I'm just glad it's out of their system. It's going to come out at the end of this year, and then we can move on and then get more original games coming out soon. But yeah, this is the nature we're in the early era of PS5. And the same thing happened with PS4. Is we get remakes and remasters, and that's the way it goes, I guess. Alright, I guess we'll call... not, we'll leave this level. And we'll go on to maybe Robotica Farms, I think. I think the only game that I'm really looking forward to now is... I think I'm going to pick up Stray, which comes out July 19th. Which is a smaller Sony game, but I think it's a very interesting looking, cool game. You play as a cat in like a dystopian future. It looks interesting. I can see myself picking that game up. Because we still don't know anything about God of War either. But you know what? I don't need... like, I'm in no rush for any new games right now. If they want to take their time and polish that game up... after what Xbox showed, and or the lack of what they showed, and that we already know like their bigger games are coming out in 2023, Sony shouldn't be in any rush to to compete and rush their games out for this year. But it would be nice to get it. I still think God of War, like honestly, if I was a betting man, I'd say God of War is gonna come out when it's rumored to around like November, maybe early December. Let's go to Robotica Farms. But Crash Wumpa League it's starting to feel more real and real because we are like I did see that recent like Canadian Gaia video. They were talking about like a 10 character roster that's in testing right now, because of like an insider who knows like who works at Windows who knows about it. Yeah, it looks interesting. It's kind of a speculation video, but it has some solid ground to kind of ruminate about.
Howdy, Spyro. These here pests have infested our farm. Could you find the time to help us get rid of them?
Yes, I can.
Find your way over to the giant bug lamp, turn it on so we can zap any more invading pests.
So these last like 2 main levels are like robot levels, which is kind of interesting. I love how there's always like 2 levels that kind of coincide with one another in theme or in plot. It's interesting.
Them bugs are mighty tough. I reckon you'll need to shoot some of them out of the sky with that there P-shot.
Yeah, it's coming to PC. But you know what? The Last of Us has been out since 2013, so... And isn't The Last of Us 2 already on PC? Or am I wrong? No, right? I guess they... I guess... I guess maybe this is a way... If The Last of Us 2 isn't on PC yet, maybe this is a way to put the first game out on PC first, wait a little bit, see how many people can migrate to PS5 before you eventually put the part 2 on PC. But I don't mind that stuff, honestly. I think it's I don't get upset about that. Like uh I think in a perfect world these games should be on all platforms, but we have to adhere to like the business side of how this stuff works, which is, you know, these games operate on consoles or different platforms, and I always think of PC as like the neutral platform anyway. But I think it's actually it's good for marketing. It's good for to build a consumer base. To kind of get these PS5 or PS4 exclusives on PC after like a couple or few years go by, when like the sales have exhausted themselves on the PlayStation. Oh, damn it. I gotta find a... What is it, sheep around here? There's one. I need to get another yellow rock thing. Is this a rock or what? I don't even know. Some kind of vegetable, I think. There we go. I could definitely see the Last of Us 2 PC port in the future. Yeah, definitely. Especially with Factions coming out. I think Factions will benefit if it's a cross-play game, actually. Damn it. Oh, this... For some reason, I didn't have enough lift to do my head bash. That was weird. But I think Factions will actually be more successful, especially with how much work is being put into this multiplayer game. I think it'll be more successful if you have more people who can play it at once. You know, more of an audience. So if you can get PC players and PlayStation players playing it, obviously it's not going to be on Xbox, but I think that's smart. There we go. There's a lot of high grass in this level. I feel like I'm going to miss a gem at some point. I like how they put tools on the side of this barn here. Ow. I keep wanting to hover and do my head bash, but it doesn't let me. It just makes me fall. Why does it do that? Now it doesn't. Damn it. There's a sheep over here. Oh, that was good. A life butterfly, so I get the full health. Oh, come on. This thing was not as hard as it was back in PS1. There we go. Alright, we're good, we're good. See what's down here. Okay. Alright, we got it, we got it. I always like this because sometimes the barrels get through the windmill, sometimes they don't. So you don't know... Sometimes it throws you off. There we go. This guy really defends this guy. Come on. Zapped. Actually, let's go over here. Check this guy out.
These darn bugs are making a joke of my expensive robot scarecrows. Can you chase them down and flame them, Spyro?
Flame the bugs.
Look at those bugs. I swear they were making fun of me.
I always like this challenge. Damn it. They start to multiply after a while. There we go.
My fields are safe from those flying vermin, Spyro. Take this doodad I done dug up yesterday.
Doodad I done dug up. Question is, did I get all the gems over here? No, I did not. So, yeah. Now, this will be the last year that I talk about for Game of the Year that is a drought. This next game of the year, this next 2010 Game of the Year is definitely worth it. But after this is in 2011 is when I actually get a PS3. So all these games I've been doing up till now for the PS3 have been kind of like backlog games that I ended up getting and going back to. In 2011 is when there's going to be the explosion of games again for that year. But 2010, it's only one game. So there's not much to talk about, but I'll talk... and coincidentally, this is the one game I've actually been playing as of recently, because I've been trying to beat the hard mode, which I never did, for 2010. And that game is God of War 3. 2010's God of War 3 by Sony Santa Monica Studio. This game is a lot of fun. I really like how it's kind of like a... It is like the final game for the trilogy. For the first trilogy. Or, you know, first... the Greek mythology. Honestly, I picked it up for PS, like as a PS4 remaster in the beginning of the PS4 generation, because I knew the 2018 God of War was coming out. So I was like, you know what? And what I did too was my PS2 used to not it used to be like on the Fritz, my slim PS2, because before I wanted to play the 2018 God of War, I wanted to play the original trilogy again. I never actually played the third game. I had the first two games, as I've mentioned, but I needed to get my PS2 fixed, and what I did was I got a screwdriver, I got some like Q-tips and kind of a, I guess, window cleaner, and I unscrewed the PS2 and I just started cleaning it, because that was a YouTube video was showing me like that's pretty much the problem with the slim PS2s, is that they get a lot of dust after a while. So yeah, I dusted it. I made sure not to touch a certain there's a certain thing in the PS2 Slim that you're not supposed to touch. If you touch it, that you risk just completely destroying the console like entirely. And I managed to do that. I had a Q-tips with like window cleaner. I was like cleaning the little, the laser, the glass laser that reads the disc. And then I ended up getting it fixed. And honestly, before that, my disc would always, I would always have to put like a little paperweight on top of the lid in order to keep the PS2 to run the discs. And even then, it was still like very, it was just such like a just like not like what's it called? It wasn't like a guarantee that it was ever gonna work, but that's how I used to do it. It was so it was just pathetic how I had to do that. But now the PS2 disc, like, they run perfectly fine now after I ended up cleaning it. And when I did that, I ended up playing God of War 1, God of War 2 all over again. It was a blast. And then I ended up picking up, I actually found God of War 3 really cheap in like a bargain bin. New, not used, new. I think it was like maybe $14.99 for the PS4 remaster of God of War 3. And it's an excellent game. I'm glad that I didn't skip out on this game. Because what I love about it is that, you know, God of War 1 introduces you to the concept of like killing or going head to head against other gods. And then God of War 2 continues that, introduces the Titans or whatever, and they're on your side, and they're gonna help you take on like Zeus or whatever. And then 3 is being the finale of that trilogy. You're just going ape shit over everybody. Like you're fighting Titans, you're fighting gods. Like everyone wants you dead, and it's just so epic. Like there's not a moment in that game where it drags at all. Like you're on an epic journey throughout that game, and it plays great. I still think God of War's gameplay holds up spectacularly, even though it's a different style than the 2018's God of War. Even though it's more of like an arcadey hack and slash, but it's still like a great game. At the end of the day, is a great game, and it still is able to be that type of game while telling an engaging story in the way that, you know, an Uncharted game would, or, you know, any of these modern Sony first-party games would. But right now I've been playing that recently. I've been playing it on hard mode, which is not that bad. You know, in the era of like Dark Souls and Elden Ring, hard mode for God of War 3, and I know I'm probably gonna like eat my words later, because I know I remember like the later boss fights like towards the end of the game gave me some trouble on normal mode. But so far it's been I'm pretty much like maybe 75% through the story, and even though it's challenging, I'm getting through it. I'm able to, like, you know, endure. Do you have a favorite God of War? For me, for the first 3 games, because God of War 3 was the last game I got in being late to the PS3 era, I don't have as much time with God of War 3, I think, to really judge whether how it stands. But for me, like, in terms of fondness, I think God of War 2 is the game I'm most fond of. and I think God of War 2 might be like one of my favorite, like, you know, story-driven um, games on the PS2 to this day. So, but God of War 3 is a mighty contender. It could honestly, it could easily be my favorite if I gave it more, if I had more time with it to really like let it sink in. But I really enjoy it. It's definitely in a game in a year of 2010 where it's the one game I own for 2010. I think it's a very worthy game. Definitely, you know, obviously it's my game of the year. So, it's excellent though. And it seems to have, honestly, out of all three games, it seems to bring more depth to Kratos, I think, than it ever did, because it makes he kind of gets away from that whole stereotype that he's just this angry, yelling guy who's just on a revenge fantasy or whatever. He's still that guy in a way, but it's not a bad thing. It's understandable from what, you know, the story, from where the story takes you. But there's also moments of like. There's interesting moments he has when he interacts with other characters. Like there's one of the characters being Pandora, who's like almost like it almost feels like a father-daughter thing going on like before The Last of Us even existed, like in a Sony first party. But it's not that. It's not it's not his daughter, but it feels like that type of relationship, and it brings a little bit more of a softness that you'll feel in the new God of War with his son Atreus. So it's interesting.
Way to go, Spyro! Them varmints won't be coming near our crops now. Can I offer you a reward?
You sure can. Nice. And honestly, playing this game again, it's been a lot of fun. It makes me want to play the other God of War games that I never really played, like God of War Ascension, which is kind of like I guess like it's not like a full game, more of like kind of like what Uncharted Lost Legacy, I guess, is to Uncharted 4, or what Miles Morales is to Spider-Man. God of War Ascension, and from what I've heard, is it's supposed to be a really fun, great game. I just think it got a lot of I think critics just kind of like gave it a good review to it, not a great review, because it was just more of the same of more of the same of God of War, same what I guess what the Lost Legacy to Uncharted is. But I'm willing to play more God of War if there's more of it. Honestly, I have played the PSP God of War games. How are those? I never played those ones. What is that, like Chains of Olympus, I think? I heard good things about those too, but I don't know.
I used to drive my tractor all around the farm, but some fool robot blocked the path up. Do you think you can clear things up with a bit of supercharge?
I'll try. Clear the tractor path. Alright, let's try the supercharge ability, or challenge. These pumpkins. So far, so good. There we go.
A fine piece of steering that was, Dragon. Here, take this thingamajig I found in the cow pen.
Have you ever played the original, like the console games? I'm surprised I was able to do the supercharge in one go. Usually I mess up one time or another. And it sucks when you mess up on this one, because this map is very confusing to me. Like, I guess you can find the whirlwind back, but it's just like you gotta find your way all the way back if you fall off this thing. I haven't. I've only played the Norse PS4 one. Okay. Well, I definitely recommend. They're games that hold up very well. Like, you know, like a lot of games, you know, when you go back to old like PS2 games, you can see how dated they are. But I think that these games hold up extraordinarily well. And they're definitely worth it. They have a collectathon-ness to it too. I mean, I'm sure the same thing as this case was for the case for the PSP games. But there's a nice like collectathon. I mean, I've actually been getting trophies too with the third game because I never got like all the phoenix feathers and all the minotaur horns or whatever. But this time around, I actually ended up getting them as I was playing because I was like kind of I guess I. Playing it the campaign once, I kind of had an idea of where to look, and after playing Crash 4, any game with collectibles, I'm kind of like it comes easier now because I have such a trained eye for like the most smallest detail, like hidden secrets. Oh man, I wanted to. I think I just have to... There we are. I do not have all the gems. What am I missing? 363 out of 400. Okay, let's see if I can find that. Have I gone up there yet on that? Did I go this way yet? Damn it. Yeah, what's up here? I wasn't supposed to do a supercharge, I was supposed to use this. Because I did it the hard way. I wonder what happens now. It's just gonna blow up on its own? Damn it. Alright, let's try to find these gems. So God of War 3, yeah, game of my year. Game of the year 2010. So to do our giant recap, 1995 was Twisted Metal, 1996 Crash Bandicoot, 1997 Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back, 1998 is Spyro the Dragon, 1999 is Crash Team Racing, 2000 is Spyro Year of the Dragon, 2001 is Jak and Daxter The Precursor Legacy, 2002 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, 2003 is The Simpsons Hidden Run, 2004 is Killzone, 2005 is Area 51, and by the way, I'm doing this off the top of my head. 2006 is Resistance Fall of Man, 2007 is God of War 2, 2008 is Resistance 2, 2009 is Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, and 2010 is God of War 3. And this is the end of the PS3 drought, because in 2011 we're going to have a lot to go over. We're going to have many games, and like honestly, going forward there's going to be a lot of games to talk about. Guess I'll try to get this gem thing, this mystery vase. I forgot where it showed me it was. Where is this thing? Did I go past it? I think I might have gone past it, but we'll see. Yeah, because this will be the ending of it. But other than God of War 3 that I've been playing, I guess I played some more Crash 4. I was kind of disappointed though because I played Toxic Tunnels and I was trying to go for all the gems and I made it through that horribly just frustrating gem, like, you know, quadruple gem path, and I made it through, but by the time I got to the end of the level I was missing 2 gems. I mean, not 2 gems, I'm sorry, 2 boxes. So that was a buzzkill. Which is weird because I could have sworn that I don't know. I mean, I guess I never did get the box gem for Toxic Tunnels yet. But I really was hoping that I could find it. I did manage to find some hidden gems though. In Run It By You and yeah, Toxic Tunnels is a bitch. And but it was like, it's just disappointing because once you master those tunnels, once you master that colored gem path series, you feel like you're on top of the world, and then it's just like for there to be 2 gems that you didn't get. I guess this is, you know what, like, I don't know. Touche. If they can fool me, then touche. I guess this is at the end of the level now, right? Yeah, cool. Please tell me this is all the gems. It is not. What?
Howdy, Spyro. These here pests have
I already
found
did.
your way.
I didn't press triangle. Alright, how many gems am I missing? A 10 piece or 2 5 pieces maybe? I've been playing Crash 3 PS1. Oh, okay. Because you said you already 100% in Crash 2, right? So how do you feel about Crash 3? Crash 3 has a very special place in my heart. Like, that game, I used to be obsessed with that game. In the PS1 era. Excellent. Yeah, honestly, Crash 3 is, I remember seeing my neighbor playing it before I even got my hands on it, and I think the first thing I remember seeing was, the first thing I really loved was how they changed the warp room from Crash 2. You were still able to choose whatever level you wanted, but I liked how it had this, like, you know, buttons on the floor, like bubble buttons, and then you get to choose, compared to kind of like the small vertical warp room that you were in Crash 2. I liked how Crash 3 brought a more... The warp room, you couldn't, like, practice, like, your new moves in the warp room because it was so big. Back in the day, it felt big, you know, compared to other Crash games. And I just remember I remember seeing them play against Tiny Tiger, and I remember being like, "Oh my God, Tiny's back! This is amazing!" Like, where are these gems? I feel like they might be on the platform above me, but let me see. I think I'm gonna complete Crash 4 again. You're crazy. Well, when you beat Crash 4, did you play it on PS4, like 100% on PS4, or did you do it on PS5? Or did you pop both trophies? Because honestly, if I was playing again, I would use that as an excuse to, you know, get that second platinum trophy. But I guess you can, if you did it on PS4, then you already are gonna pop it again on. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I popped both trophies too. I figured, I was like, you know what, the game's letting me do it. Whatever. It was already too late by the time I was updating it. The only time I see myself doing another replay of Crash 4 is if I stream it. And I don't think it's going to be 100% stream because it's going to take forever. There's too much trial and error. Which is one of the disappointing things about that game, is it doesn't lend itself well to being kind of a let's play game unless you're just doing the story on its own. But to me, that's not as, like, I'm a completionist, so it would bug me that. But at the same time, it would take me like over 100 hours to do it because there would be so much trial and error. There's so much stuff to do in that game. Where the hell are these gems? Maybe it's over here? I don't know. Something tells me I can find these gems. I feel like they're gonna be like... I just noticed you haven't... Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I did the first 3 games of the Insane Trilogy and CTR. Yeah, Crash 4 is actually the only one I haven't done. And honestly, I want to give myself a little bit more time before I do it, so that there's kind of a nostalgia feel while I do it. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, I want to give myself some distance from the game before I do it again, but especially since I'm currently playing it. But I definitely see myself playing that soon, you know, at some point for the channel. After all, it's the one between the Insane Trilogy, the Reignited Trilogy, CTR, and Tony Hawk. It's the one game of like the Activision train of great games or great remakes / original games that I haven't done yet. The only game I'm gonna have trouble beating is Crash Bash. Are you doing that one after 4? Or are you gonna go to like the PS1 CTR? Yeah, I still feel like I need to pick up Crash Bash for the PS1. I know I can do like the demo for free, or like the whole game on Spyro 3, like on Spyro 3, but I haven't tried that yet. Honestly, PS1's story mode for CTR, I love it. I love it just as much as Crash 2 or Crash 3. It continues that feeling of like you're being in a warp room and you're having fun collecting, but you know, with the extra challenge of racing. So where the hell are these damn gems? This grass, it definitely has to be in the grass. I do have them, but I haven't used sparks yet. I'm kind of like, it's kind of like sacred to me now not to use them. But maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe like hopefully it's not one of those situations where like the gems fell through the level again, which happened to me on Spyro 1 and I think Spyro 2 with Zephyr, right? Can never trust this game when it comes to that. Something tells me I have to like get on one of those like seesaws and I have to get on like the fence, like these fences here. I think there might be gems like on the side here that I'm missing. Cause I could have sworn. I don't understand why Reignited is broken. Either, you know, honestly, it's the one game for Spyro, or one title that they put out, and they couldn't like just spiff it up a bit. I mean, it's a very. I mean, it's like it's annoying. It's like a game-breaking bug, that like just disrupts the whole flow of the game. Why wouldn't you want to like at least? I mean, being Toys for Bob, who are still active, why don't you just get your hands dirty and do it? You don't, you know. I'll take a lack of inverted levels in Crash 4 for them to fix the bugs in Spyro Reignited. I'll take that any day. Let's see if it's over here. I feel like it's over here. Let me see. Damn it. My hover doesn't work for some reason. Like, sometimes it just drops me. I feel like I already got this, though. Come on. I'm in my glide mode, and then I press hover and it just drops me down. There we go. But I was already up here, wasn't I? Alright. Let's see, maybe it's over here. I feel like I was already over here, though. Like, what the hell? Maybe I will. Maybe I should use sparks. Let me give it one last little gut check here. What am I missing? Oh, you scared me. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see what Spark says. I think it's... Was it all the shoulder buttons? Nope, nope. What is Sparks again? What's the Sparks? How do you do Sparks again? I forgot. Click the analog stick. Okay. I just pressed them once. I don't want to go crazy just yet. Somewhere back here. Yeah, I'll hold it. I saw him point this way towards the beginning of the level, so I'm gonna let that narrow it down for me. It's got to be this high grass. Nothing really. Hold on, let me go to the very beginning of the level. Oh, there it is. I'm glad I did. Okay, I just did a one sparks check. Back there. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I didn't just keep tapping it. It's more rewarding when you actually find it on your own. Alright, we'll get to the end of the level again. Unfortunately, we only did the flight level on the other and this level, but you know what? That's what Spyro 2 is all about. It's about it's more about just enjoying the scenery and not worrying about getting the game finished in one go. Or like as fast as possible. It's not like Crash Bandicoot levels where it's like you go in, you go out. This is kind of like a... They require your time, I guess. Ugh. So we'll head on out. Wherever that is, over here. And thus ends Robotica Farms. Alright, so next time we'll go after Metropolis. I also think... was there any skill point for that level? I'm just wondering. Because eventually we're going to do the skill points too. So far we got this. Canyon Speedway, I just have to do... I guess that's it. Yeah, okay. So we'll do these next time too. For all we know, well, yeah, because then we have to do Ripto and we have to do Dragon Shores. So there's a lot. There's still a lot to do, but we'll see. Maybe for who knows? You know, these levels tend to take long though with all my rambling. All right. Until next time, we will do Metropolis. We'll start off with that one. hopefully we'll get some news on something soon about something interesting about games. Because there really hasn't been anything too interesting other than these showcases, which were kind of a little disappointing to me. But yeah, we'll end it here. Pulpa Pig, it's been a pleasure. Anyone out there who wants to like, comment, or subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. Subscribe to Kev Plays on YouTube, or Let's Watch Series on Twitter, or follow me at on PlayStation Huts123. Other than that, keep on gaming, stay healthy, stay strong, keep a clear head, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Life. Bye.